think that I did something wrong, anything, okay, any kind of crime, let me get my lawyer over here, and I will tell my lawyer, you know what, give these guys a lie detector test.
Mark Denklau, the president of the Gypsy Joker Outlaw Motorcycle Club, has been brought in for questioning regarding the murder of Robert Huggins, a Gypsy Joker member who had been pushed out of the club in 2014 for stealing money from the Portland clubhouse to pay for heroin. Stay tuned until the end to see how Mark tries to outsmart the detectives at every turn. Huggins, often called Bagger Bobby, had allegedly broken into Denklau's home, tied up his girlfriend, and stolen some money. A few months prior to this investigation, Huggins' mutilated body was recovered from a field outside of Washington. However, the cops don't outright tell Mark this, and you'll notice that as soon as the interrogation begins, Mark has his guard up.
Motorcycle club. You have some affiliation with one, is that right?
I don't have any answers for questions like that.
We can see that even though he offhandedly answers a few questions about his girlfriend, Nicole...
Back up a little bit. How long have you been in a relationship?
I'm not going to answer any more questions about Nicole. Okay. I don't have any more answers for you until...
He is reluctant to go into further details and even calls the detectives out on their manipulative techniques. The cops bring up two stories related to Mark, but in both instances, he is the victim of a theft and a break-in.
I'm not going to tell you the story because it's a personal story and there's no crime that I'm not going to press charges about anything. Okay. And I would be the only, in the story that you're talking about, there's only one person in the world that could press any charges about it, and that'd be me.
Okay.
And I'm not pressing any charges on her.
All right.
And no.
The detectives are hoping that he will corroborate their stories, which will establish a baseline for further questioning.
I don't know. I'm here for some reason. I don't know what your deal is.
But it seems like Mark is 2 steps ahead of them, and he immediately questions why he's being held.
I don't really understand why this stuff that you're talking about with this dude and the car stuff, why would that get handcuffs put on me?
He even makes it a personal principle to not talk behind anyone's backs, and refuses to answer plenty of questions on that.
Okay. But I'm not going to sit here and slam on Nicole, and I'm not going to sit here and tell stories about her or anybody else.
The cops keep circling around Nicole and the robbery because they want the suspect to admit that he knew Huggins was the culprit there, which would establish a motive for his murder. But Mark had thwarted their attempts and played a very risky hand by dumping the entire blame on Nicole.
You're barking up the wrong tree, and I don't even know what the fuck it has to do with you guys when if I'm not mad about the shit.
As we have seen, Mark is very consistent about asking why he is being held throughout the interview, and there is a very good reason for it. When they finally mention Bagger Bob...
Bagger Bob?
Yeah. That ring a bell?
What you're talking? Yeah, I know who that is. He's fucking...
Mark evades the questions and brings up the condition of a lawyer.
Well, you know, like I said, you know, actually, now that fucking you're starting to bring his name into it, and he got killed, now I don't think I have any other questions to answer for you. Now I think having a lawyer here might be a good idea.
Still, he doesn't firmly ask for a lawyer. He keeps chatting after that point. He wants the cops to tell him exactly what he is accused of.
If you want to tell me what I'm doing here and what reason...
And this is exactly why the cops never directly mention his role in Huggins' murder. The two parties engage in a game where the detectives want to get information out of Mark without telling him what they already know, while Mark also wants to test how much they know about the whole thing before calling a lawyer.
I'll keep listening a little longer before I call in a lawyer. Yeah.
And this was Mark's mistake. He has been reasonably smart so far, but if he was really smart, he would have asked for a lawyer immediately. However, for someone who claims to be done talking, Mark certainly slips up a whole lot and keeps re-answering questions and adding information.
I just gotta tell you. He said fucking, you know, I'm not gonna get into the story. I'm not gonna talk.
If the cops turn to bluff, framing Mark as a person of trust by needing him to validate Nicole's story so that he would be more willing to talk.
Months, well over half a year, we have talked to a lot of people. Okay. And we can tell you right now, Nicole's in front of a grand jury. Okay. There is, you say talk to her, we have. There's a story there.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
So I'm just letting you know that. So we have a story, so we want to get your side of it.
God.
Although Mark doesn't fall for it, you'll agree that he shouldn't have kept the interrogation going. Most people would panic for their own safety after hearing that people they know are in police custody as well. But Mark retains his unbothered demeanor.
I think that I did something wrong. Anything. Okay? Any kind of crime. Let me get my lawyer over here, and I will tell my lawyer, you know what? Give these guys a lie detector test.
If you're shocked by his confidence in bringing up a lie detector, let us clarify that it was certainly a ploy. The implicit part of his suggestion was that he wouldn't do anything without an attorney present. As soon as they disclose his crime, he would lawyer up and never mention the polygraph again. The interrogation comes to an end with Mark's vague answers about Huggins, not reflecting any ill feelings or hatred towards the victim. Eventually, police raids along with interviews with Nicole and other members of the club revealed the murder plot. And while others received lighter sentencing because of their testimonies, Mark got full life imprisonment. So in the end, Mark's smartness didn't help him at all, even though he never incriminated himself. His friends did. And that's what landed him in prison for life. That's all for this video. Let us know your thoughts on this.